Very good morning from another city here in the Netherlands. We are in Den Bosch, or Bosch as it's officially called. Today we're going to have a walk around right over here. This is the Citadel of Den Bosch. There's a lot of history here dating, oh that's really slippery, right? Yeah, they didn't put salt here, I can't blame them. We are next to hundreds of years of history. This fort dates back at least 400 years and has seen wars with the French and with the Spanish. Weather isn't that nice, but I think you get the idea here. The water level is really high. It should not be up to the grass, but oh well, I guess they know what they're doing, right? Behind the trees and the cars is a building that looks a little bit weird. It isn't weird, it's just safe. This used to be the ammo storage of the city of Den Bosch. Just outside of the city, with its doors turned away from the city and its roof structure really light, so if something went wrong, the explosion would be up, not into the city. No boating activities, it's too cold. So this is Het Kruithuis, or the ammo storage. The Citadel of Den Bosch is located where the Dommel and Aa rivers merge into the Dieze, which is only a few kilometers long. The fort itself is built on top of 13th century city gates and the neighborhood that was built here in the 14th and 15th century. During the construction of this fort, another neighborhood was also demolished, so there would be a free view from it towards possible enemy positions. During this process, two Catholic churches were also demolished by the Protestant Staatsen. This is the river Dommel, that also flows through my hometown of Eindhoven. And this is the Zuid-Willemsvaart Canal, dug in the 1800s. But that meant they had to cut off a little bit of the fortress there. One of the bastions was broken down there. You can still see the cut off area right over there. The Citadel of Den Bosch is located at the southwestern corner of the city, strategically covering two rivers and the entrance from the northwest by a third river as well. Construction started in 1629, shortly after the army of the Republiek der Zeven Verenigde Nederlanden, or Republic of the Seven United Lowlands, liberated the city from the Spanish. We are looking over the Zuid-Willemsvaart, which back then didn't exist and was dug between 1823 and 1825. Only in the 1880s, the fifth bastion of the citadel was demolished to allow for easier passage of ships after use of the canal had increased a lot. They had some fun kayaking today, and we are having fun at the Citadel. This bridge is relatively new, it's a bastion bridge. The old one's on the other side. I think we can get out on that side as well. Here we are in the old Citadel of Den Bosch. This building is relatively new though, but there used to be a building of similar size on this location before it was torn down in 1984. These basements are new, they didn't used to be here. As we are following the rules, no walking outside of the paths, no walking on the grass that is. After the liberation of Den Bosch by Prince Frederik Hendrik in 1629, construction of this fort soon started. The Spanish were defeated here, but they won't be the last to besiege the city and conquer it. Napoleon would have a go at it a few hundred years later as well. Oh, there's a dog jumping almost in the water, catching some swans. This fort was named Willem Maria, after two of the children of the prince that liberated this city back then. Keep in mind that the liberating Dutch forces were led by a Protestant prince, where the Spanish were Catholic, as were most of the Dutch living under the Spanish by the time they were kicked out again. This fort was quickly built not only for the defense of the Republic, but also to make sure that the Republicans were in a position of control of the remaining Catholics in the city, as there was a large degree of mistrust towards the Catholics. These cannons here are aimed towards the south. That's also where the French and Spanish would come from eventually. But yeah, these cannons have seen some action. What's good about these kind of monuments is that most are open for the public and are free of charge, like this one. And it's really quiet because it's a Sunday morning. I decided to make the best out of my weekend. Stay home yesterday because the weather was really bad. This fort served as a military post until the 1960s, but by then it was already basically abandoned. That's why in 1984 the existing buildings inside of the fort were demolished. And later they built a new building, this one here. That's a museum though, not a storage for ammunition or something. The fort was nicknamed the Papenbril, or Pape Glasses, referring to the Catholics that need to be kept an eye on. A paap is a Dutch slur for Catholics by Protestants back in those days. The fort became a barracks in 1789, when the building was constructed that used to be in the middle of the fort here. The central building was extended in 1848. In 1794, the French besieged the city and took it over a few weeks later. They were also the ones to rename the fort from Villa Maria to simply the Citadel, a name that sticks until today. During the French occupation until 1814, the Citadel was used for military court and prison. Executions were performed here as well. This fort has seen at least two big sieges in its history, one by the French and one by the Spanish, which means this place was a place where hundreds or even thousands of Dutch soldiers were located and gave their lives. And now it's eerily quiet. But the sacrifices those Dutch soldiers made here back in the day make the Netherlands what it is today. Thank you for watching and see you soon. After the liberation of Den Bosch by Prince After the liberation of Den Bosch After the liberation of Den Bosch by Prince Frederik Hendrik in 2019,